Making business decisions as a Christian entrepreneur can at times feel overwhelming. Should you take that risk, expand your company, or wait on God's timing? I've said for many years there's a fine line between faith and stupidity, and sometimes knowing which side of the line you're on is the biggest challenge. So while market trends and business trends and analytics can be useful, true wisdom comes from trusting God in business decisions. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." And so today I want to give you some guidance on how to make those faith-based decisions. Here's why faith matters in business success. There's this tension between faith-driven entrepreneurship and self-reliance. Most business leaders rely on strategy, data, and experience, but as a Christian entrepreneur, we recognize that God's wisdom far exceeds human understanding. We look to the Bible for examples like Joseph and his leadership in the business affairs of Egypt. In Genesis 41, we see that Joseph trusted God during setbacks, prison, and opportunities serving Pharaoh. Because of his faith, God gave him divine wisdom to manage Egypt's economy. And the lesson we learn is that faith-driven entrepreneurs thrive when they seek God first. What you want to do is seek Him first and align yourself with His plans. So, how do you surrender your business plans to God? You see, many Christian business owners struggle with control, but true success comes from surrendering to God, and so here are some practical ways you can surrender. First and foremost, pray over every major decision, whether that's a product launch, a new hire, or your investments. Run your business with kingdom values: honesty, generosity, servant leadership. And here's the big one: let go of the outcomes. Trust that God opens and closes doors for a reason. And that's a big one. And here's a case study that most of us are familiar with: Chick-fil-A's faith-based business model. Truett Cathy founded Chick-fil-A on biblical principles, closing on Sundays to honor God despite industry skepticism. Chick-fil-A became one of the most successful fast food chains. So, what's one of the business areas that you need to surrender to God today? And then, how do you hear God's voice in your business decisions? Well, truthfully, God speaks in different ways. The real question is, are you listening? Here are some ways you can discern God's direction. Prayer and fasting. Set aside time to seek clarity. Be intentional about it. Study Scripture. The Bible offers financial and leadership wisdom. You just have to spend time studying. Seek godly mentors. Surround yourself with other faith-driven entrepreneurs. And then watch for those divine signs. Sometimes God redirects through unexpected opportunities and closed doors. The biblical example for you is Nehemiah's leadership in Nehemiah chapter 1, verses 4 through 11. Before making a major leadership decision, Nehemiah fasted, he prayed, and he waited for God's direction. And as a result, God opened doors and provided resources. Give this a try. This is a 5-day Seeking God in Business challenge. On day 1, pray for wisdom. On day 2, read a scripture on divine guidance. Day 3, journal your business struggles. Day 4, ask a mentor for insight. Day 5, take action based on God's leading from everything you've accumulated on those previous 4 days. Let's talk about faith over fear. How to trust God in business and make bold decisions. Because fear is the number one thing that stops most entrepreneurs from stepping into their real calling. When we talk about fear versus faith in business, fear says, what if I fail? But faith says, God is in control. Fear focuses on lack. Faith focuses on God's provision. Fear paralyzes. Faith inspires action. The biblical example is Peter walking on the water. Matthew 14:29 through 31. Peter succeeded as long as he kept his eyes on Jesus. But the moment he looked at the storm, he sank. Here's your business tip. Keep your focus on God's promises, not the economic downturns or the market competition. And here's the practical step. Speak faith-based affirmations over your business. I will not fear financial setbacks, for God is my provider. God has given me wisdom, and I will act in faith. And then you have to take those practical steps to running your business God's way. Here are some daily habits for you as a faith-driven entrepreneur. Number 1, start your day with devotion and prayer. Ask, Lord, what do you want me to accomplish in my business today? Number 2, journal your prayers and your testimonies. Document God's provision and his answered prayers. Number 3, use your business to serve others. Prioritize integrity, generosity, and servant leadership. And then build a faith-based entrepreneurial community. Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Remember, trusting God in business isn't a one-time event. It is truly a daily journey. And the more you seek him, the more you surrender control, and the more you step out in faith, the more you are going to experience his provision and favor. I hope you found today's episode helpful, and I look forward to having you join us on the next episode. Have a great day today, and I'll talk to you again soon.